Lesson 3, topic, add and subtract fractions. Learning target, I can use common denominators to add and subtract fractions. First off, some key vocab words. Common denominators are fractions written with the same denominator. We talked about this in lesson 2. Sometimes your fractions are given to you with common denominators. So here we have 2/6 over 3/6. They have that same bottom number. So remember, the denominator is your bottom number. So if fractions have the same bottom number, they have common denominators. So these have common denominators. And 2/6 we would shade as 2 of the 6 pieces. 3/6 we would shade as 3 of the 6 pieces. So if we wanted to add 2/6 and 3/6 together, we would shade 2 of the slices, and then we would shade 3 more of the slices. So then if we look at our shaded image, we have 5/6. So 2/6 plus 3/6 equals 5/6. So that's how we add fractions. The two top numbers get added together. So we have 2 plus 3 is 5, and then that 6 stays the same. So quick check, complete the addition problem. 1/6 plus 2/6 equals how many sixths? Let me know in Edpuzzle. So adding fractions. So our first step is we have to write them with common denominators. So if they don't have common denominators, we have to rewrite them with common denominators. So reminder, to find the common denominator, we take our two denominators. So we have 7 and we have 5, and we multiply them. 7 times 5 is 35. So our new denominator is going to be 35. So I'm going to write that for both of our fractions. Now to get to 35, we had to multiply 7 by 5, because 7 times 5 is 35, which means we also multiply 3 by 5. What's 3 times 5? That's 15. So we have 15 over 35 is the new fraction for 3 over 7. So 15 over 35 becomes our new first fraction, 15 over 35. Now we just need our second fraction. So 5, we multiplied 5 by 7 to get 35, because 5 times 7, 35. So that means we have to multiply 4 by 7 as well. What's 4 times 7? That is 28. So then we get 28 over 35. And now we just have to add our fractions. 15 35ths plus 28 35ths equals, well, 15 plus 28 is 43. And on those kind of things, you can use a quick calculator if you need. You can do 15 plus 28 and get that 43. If you want to double check, make sure you're right. Absolutely no problem. And then remember, your denominator stays the same. So 35ths. So 43 over 35. All right, before we move on, just some new vocab words. We have proper fractions, and those have been the fractions we've been working with most of this unit, which are fractions where the numerator, remember that's your top number, is smaller than the denominator. So if you look here, 3/5, top number 3 is smaller than that bottom number 5. Improper fractions are fractions where the numerator is greater or larger than the denominator. So here we have 9 over 5. 9 is bigger than 5. So that makes it an improper fraction. So our last answer was 43 over 35. That's an improper fraction. Now, sometimes we leave them as improper fractions, and sometimes we want to convert improper fractions to mixed numbers. And to do that, We'll talk about that later, but a improper fraction can be changed into a mixed number. And that's just a whole number and a proper fraction. So this would be 2 1/3. So that's just some vocabulary for you to know. And then now we'll talk about subtracting fractions. So we'll do one last example here with subtraction. So the same thing, subtracting fractions, you need common denominators. So again, we're going to take our 8 and our 3, and we're going to multiply them. 8 times 3 is 24. So I'm going to do 24 for my new denominator. To get to 24, we had to multiply 8 by 3. So we're going to multiply 7 by 3. 7 times 3, 21. So that's one of our fractions. And then 2/3. So to get 3 to become 24, we multiplied it by 8, remember? So then we multiply that 2 as well by 8. 2 times 8 is 16. So now we're going to subtract our two fractions. So this becomes 21 over 24 minus 16 over 24. 21 minus 16 is 5. Again, if you would like to use a calculator to do that math, 21 minus 16, double check, make sure you're right, get a 5 over 24. 5 over 24, numerator smaller than the denominator, so that would be a proper fraction. And that is all of our notes for today. Go ahead and move right on into your practice.